Alright guys, thanks for tuning into this video brought to you by Sparesbox. Now, today this is going to be the video for the Pro car for 2024 that I'm introducing to the channel. And I've been dying to get this video out, but we've had a bit of a delay trying to get the parts to get the car rolling. So the car was purchased, as you can see behind me, without any control arms in it. It was forklift onto a truck. And yeah, it's been a bit difficult to get this all together, but we're finally here. It's going to be a really exciting year filming this with Sparesbox and a number of other partners that are jumping on board. So I'm really pumped. And today I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane, or give you some history on why I got into drifting and why I love driving so much. So look, I basically come from a motorsport family. My parents met when they were racing. My mum was into RX2s and rotaries, and my dad was into production cars, you know, before V8 supercars were even a thing. So naturally, I've been drawn towards, you know, engines and loud cars, and because I've been around them my whole life. So it's just been in my blood, and this is why eventually I got into driving. So when I was around the age of 12, I ended up getting this paddock basher. And it was an old V8 Commodore. I used to thrash the car around in the paddock that you'll soon see in a second behind us. It was an old race car that my dad ended up acquiring through his racing times, and it was pretty worn out. Like it needed a lot of work. And yeah, so as a young kid, I was working on it with my godfather and my dad, trying to get this thing running. So you know, there was fuel popping out of the carburetor, and it was setting on fire all the time. It was quite dangerous actually, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. So that's kind of where everything really started for me for drifting. So let's go for a walk and I'll show you where this all started. All right, so this is where it all started. So I used to just thrash the car up here and go all the way down there, get the car on full lock, drifted. I wasn't using a handbrake at the time, didn't even know what a handbrake did with drifting. It was all about power sliding. I used to do figure eights all through here, through these trees. I eventually learned how to, you know, get steering control, throttle control. I spun out quite a fair bit obviously as well. The car had no lock, but you do learn quite a lot. You know, I guess it's similar to drifting on a wet ski pan. And fortunately enough, I was able to start doing that at the age of 12. So moving on from there, because I fell in love with this so much and traveling around with my family, I ended up watching Bo Yates and the Pier Drift team at Bathurst one year. So I was watching them drift on the main straight about the age of 14 or 15. And that kind of really gave me more of an understanding of the handbrake control, throttle control, and clutch control as well. I could drive a manual by that time, so I kind of had a fair understanding on throttle control and all that kind of stuff as well with the clutch. So I learned a lot then, and that's kind of when I really fell in love with drifting. Now, the model of car that I have here right now is well, it's the same model as the very first car I had when I was on my L's. So when I was 16, ended up getting this model of car. That kind of really got me into like the JDM drifting world. You know, obviously we used to go out cruising together and having a lot of fun as young kids do. So from there, I started to step up into a turbo car, which I purchased when I was 19. It wasn't turbo at the time. It was a really old piece of crap 180. It had house paint on it, stock non-turbo SR20. It was pretty badly treated, to be honest with you. And I rebuilt that car for 2 years. So it was sitting in the shed for 2 years. I threw a brand new motor and a big turbo. I went way over the top, and now I've come to realize you don't really need to do that for drifting. So you spend less power, less things break. At the time, I didn't really know that. So I've learned a lot since then. And that was kind of the car that really stepped me into competing professionally, which I started doing when I was 25 years old in 2015. So that's when I built my next car, which is my S15 that you guys have probably seen before. And if you haven't, I'll chuck a photo of that in here as well. So that car really stepped up my career into a more professional level. I ended up traveling overseas. I went to Japan, did D1NZ, and got some really good results with that. So moving forward, without boring you guys too much, 2024 is a really special year because I get to release a car that I've always had my eyes set on, or at least for a couple of years anyway, because it is a brand new shell to the market. It was released in 2019. So I've really had my eyes set on this car, and like I said, it was the exact same model as the very first car that actually got me into drifting initially. So I think it's probably time that I show you guys. Let's go. Ready? Been wanting to do this for a while. Oh. 'Here we go, guys. 2021 GR Toyota Supra.
I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Got it. Diamonds dancing on my neck. That is the vibe I'm on. Drip. Way too lit. Who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long.
So like I said, the very first car that I got into drifting with or started to fall in love with JDM cars was a 1986 Toyota Supra. So for me this year, having another Supra, and like I said, I've had my eyes set on getting a Supra as a pro car for many, many years, even the older shape, the Mark IV. It's a really special year for me and I'm very excited to be introducing this to the channel along with some amazing partners that I have now, including Sparesbox and many others that I'm going to be releasing over the coming weeks and coming months as we build this on the Sparesbox YouTube channel as well as mine. So you're probably thinking, what are we going to do to the car? Well, right next to me, we have an S15. So to make this a simple project and not too involved, you know, I don't really want to build a whole new motor. I've got everything here. It's tried and tested. It's reliable. I've had this S15 now on track for over 2 years and it's a really good setup. Red Sun Motorsport tuned it, they built the motor and the car goes really well. So I'm taking the 2JZ out of this. The whole setup, we'll change a few things of course. It's going in the Supra. So it's going to be a 2JZ Supra and we are going to have this car launched by August this year. So that's World Time Attack and we're going to be releasing it there. There's so many other things that are happening to the car. Obviously, this is a very new build for me and I have learned a lot watching videos like Ryan Turk's build, the Papadakis build, which was Frederick Asbo's car in FD America. I've been watching all these videos and trying to get all these ideas of how I want this car to look. From my understanding, this is going to be the first Pro Supra in Australia, or obviously the new Supra. So there's not really a lot that I can go from. A lot of the parts have to come from overseas as well. So it's going to be completely rebuilt with all brand new parts. We're going to be chucking in the standard stuff, probably introduce a little bit more as we go into the build and not try and spoil right now. But to say the least, guys, I'm extremely excited and I've been dying to show you this car. A few people actually guessed it on YouTube and I didn't want to give it away. So I did say it was a Euro car, which it is. This is a BMW at heart, but it is a Toyota on the outside. And to have a Toyota Supra this year is extremely exciting. We're going to build the car to be a weapon. We're going to try and get it overseas eventually in the coming years. Wherever it kind of ends up, we don't know. I'm really excited to be releasing this today, guys. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video. There's so much more content to come. So many great partners are jumping on board and I'm so excited to be sharing this with you today, guys. I've been dying, absolutely dying to release it. So here you are, 2021 GR Supra. Let's go. Let's go.
I look like a bag of money I'm on. They wanna know what I'm on. Got it. Diamonds dancing on my neck. That is the vibe I'm on. Drip. Way too lit. Who gon' check? You can tell me none. Boss mode in effect and my money long. If you ain't talking money, don't talk to me. I'll be over here where the voices be. Pockets on thick cause I eat my greens. Way too hot, 3,000 degrees.